Hello everybody, how are you doing today? Welcome back to another energy reading for the week of May 29th, 2021. Hello. For those of you who are new in the group, my name is Trisha Schinkel. I am your intuitive spiritual healer and coach, also known as your awakening life coach from innerbuddha.ca. And so I'm coming on live here saying hi to everybody. How are you doing? How was your week? Oh my gosh. So I don't know about you guys, but I had a little bit of a rough week. I'm pretty good usually around full moons. This last full moon was a lunar eclipse, and I felt it coming. Like the day before, I could feel this crazy weird heaviness, and I'm like, oh my gosh, something's happening. There's like, what happens with full moons is that you're basically illuminating all of the shadow parts of you, right? So the shadow parts, all the stuff that you're kind of like not want to deal with, but you know, you have to at one point in time in your life, right? So they come up to be seen, right? To be dealt with. And if you choose not to deal with it, it's just going to come louder next time. Well, I guess I've been putting things off because it came up pretty hard for me this time, like super hard. I definitely had a lot of tears all week long. I'm not gonna lie. It was a little bit of a rough one, but to be honest, throughout the week, now, if you're in the Facebook group, if you're watching this on YouTube, you can always join the Facebook group. It's called The Awakening Journey. So in the Facebook group, I've been posting all week long about all of the numbers, especially the threes, which was really crazy. There was tons and tons of threes. And one of the girls in the group actually pointed out that the number 3 is like a DNA unlocking the frequency of joy, right? Which would make sense because if you're unlocking joy in your physical body, like this is the energy that we're holding in our body, right? If you're unlocking that in your DNA, you're gonna have to get rid of all of the other shit that's weighing it down, right? So it's like this balloon that's coming up, but if it has a brick on the bottom, right, it's gonna have to let go of the brick in order to float up, right? That's kind of what I was going through. So let me know if that was the stuff that you were experiencing this week or not. I don't know. I think maybe it's just that kind of time of year, right? So yeah, what I wanted to just get into first before we get into the actual reading is let you know about the announcements. So I got some really great podcast episodes launching every single weekend. This week, actually, there's one that I released. There was a podcast that I did with Callie Mahalik, and she is all about human design, and she shares everything about human design. Now, a little bit about it is basically it's like the human blueprint of your life, right? It's like your contract that you came in with, right? This is the kind of stuff that you're going to come into, how you're going to basically live your life, right? So I'll let you listen to the episode, but it was really informative and really interesting to kind of dive a little bit deeper into that, right? So check out that. Definitely let me know what you think about that one. I'm really happy about that episode. And even the one with the money episode, the Nicole that came on last week. And she talked about how to fall in love with your money, and what an episode that was. Like, I got some really great feedback on that. So I was really proud of that one, how that turned out. That was really good. And so just to let you guys know, I do have coaching spots available now. So what I do for coaching, it's all spiritual mentorship and a lot of spiritual healing, right? And I want you guys to think about this. Think about coaching this way, is that if you have the tools, the know-how to overcome any obstacle that you come up in your life, what is the value of that? Like, think about the impact that you would have, not just like on this part of your life, like when you're doing it, but this is something that you would learn for the rest of your life. You're going to know how to use these tools from here on out, right? So think about the impact that it would have just on your life, and then think about the impact that it would have on if you have children or your close family and friends, a circle of friends and family. Like, think about the impact that it would have on that. If you could, have the tools to overcome your mental strife, or if you could figure out, if you could have just a good mental headspace, right? And be able to share that with others and help them with the tools that you're learning through the coaching as well. that is something that I definitely want to share with you, because that is exactly the work that I do with my clients. And I really love the work that I do and the results that I'm seeing and things that are happening in people's lives. And we do a lot of fun stuff too. I'm not gonna lie, I teach a lot of crystal work. We do crystal gridding. We do energy work. I do connect you to your guides and angels and higher self. I take you through all of that fun stuff too. So yeah, if that's something you're interested in, let me know. Message me, definitely. All right. So yeah, if you are watching on YouTube, don't forget to share and subscribe. Definitely don't forget to subscribe, because you don't want to miss out on any more energy readings. That is super important. Okay, so when I tapped into the energy this week for coming up, I know coming out of last week, it was a little bit rough for me. I don't know about you. But what I was kind of going into the month of June. Now, I'm not big on astrology. Like I follow it to the extent that I know I'm a Pisces, and I know that I'm a very, the water signs are typically a lot of more emotional and things like that, right? That's as far as I get. But I do follow astrology, and one thing that I've been kind of following is the month of June is gonna be a crazy ride. It's gonna be a bumpy ride for a lot of us. And it's good because in the respect that it's going to allow you to get rid of all of the bricks from your balloons that you've been carrying around, right? Allow yourself to allow that balloon to rise. And so it's not necessarily a bad thing, but it could be a rocky road. Let's just say that, right? So what came through when I tapped into the guides, my guides are like, expect the unexpected. Just start there. Right? And then people are like, when you tell people to like expect the unexpected, they're like, oh my God, what's going to happen? Nothing really big. It's just going to be a little bit shifty, and the energy is going to be moving back and forth a lot more, right? The foundations, whatever in your foundations that just don't suit what's happening in your life, they're going to fall away, right? If it doesn't serve your highest purpose, there's no reason for it to be there. So these are things that are going to start breaking down and falling apart, and that's okay. And it's just basically allowing it to happen, right? Stepping into that space, being open to change, being open to anything coming in any way that it wants to, right? Because typically we have an idea of how we want things to come into our lives, right? We expect it. We almost give it that expectation. And then when you have that expectation, you kind of grab onto it. And then it means something to you, right? So it's about letting go of the reins and letting things happen as they should. And also, right now, just so you know, we are in Mercury retrograde. It started on May 29th, so yesterday. And it's going to be running until June 22nd. So Mercury retrograde, so the planet Mercury, it's all about your thoughts and communication and how we relay messages, right? Back and forth. So a lot of the times with Mercury retrograde, it's a good time to kind of go introspect and go inward and connect to yourself on a different level, on a deeper level, right? And it's that time where things can, be miscommunicated and things can be misunderstood. And that's a part of expect the unexpected, is getting into that space where like, you know what, maybe you need to be a little bit more clear on things in order to relay the information to other people, right? Maybe you don't believe it as much as you should, and then like things like that. So it's just kind of tuning into the resistance that you have coming up, and just even noticing what resistance feels like in your body, right? Because when you're resisting something, you get tension, you get tense, you get tight, and you're kind of like tense up. That's the only word I can really think of, because that's what it really is. Like, if that's what it feels like to me, right? You kind of almost have to protect yourself because you're resisting, right? But as soon as you let all that go, you kind of get into this like jello-y place, right? And it's in that place of like, okay, things can happen and miscommunications are going to happen, and that's okay, right? There's going to be a time where everything's going to come together anyway, right? So it's just coming to terms with all of the thoughts that are going on in your head, right? Maybe even bringing that energy down from your busy mind into your heart space is a really good practice too. I know this week I had to practice that a lot, to be honest. I really did. It's just recognizing there's resistance in your body and allowing it to leave, right? And if there is resistance here, maybe kind of ask yourself, like, what is this resistance for? What is coming up? You know, the best thing to do is start questioning it. Questions are powerful. Questions are what changes things, right? It doesn't allow you to stay in the same. It allows you to move through it more freely, more fluidly, more easily, right? So that's just what was coming up for this week, right? So these are just little tips and things that I follow to make my life easier and understand the energies that are happening in this life and how everything is coming together. And then it kind of just makes sense, and it's a little bit easier to move through things when shit hits a fan, kind of speak, right? So, okay. So I don't want to keep you for too long. I'm going to try to get these readings a little bit down in time, just because I want everything to come through. And you guys, I don't want to keep you for too long. Okay, so I'm going to tap into our angel deck today and just ask for our guides and our angels to bring forth any messages that we need to know about this week, about this energy, about what we're moving into, and seeing what needs to be released. Okay. Well, there's one card. I'll pull 3 from this one, kind of like beginning, middle, and end, kind of putting a story together, right? Here we go. Cool. Okay, so the first card that came out was giving and receiving. So that flow, that ebb and flow, that back and forth, that in and out, that kind of just, you know, you get into that place, right? The giving and receiving. So, the card itself, it says the entire universe operates in cycles similar to inhales and exhales of your body, so of your breath. And when you are exhaling, you are giving. Or if you are only inhaling, then you are only receiving, right? So for optimal health, energy, and replenishment, balance each inhalation in your life with an exhalation, right? So that's a really good analogy. It's basically saying, like, if you're only giving all of the time, you're not going to have any resources left within you, right? And if you're only receiving, that unbalances the scales as well. So it's really just tuning into, where are you in that give and receive mode? Are you inhaling too much? Are you exhaling too much? What needs to be balanced, right? And that's more really what we're getting into, is into this balanced place, into this balanced state, right? The next one that came out, the middle part, is trustworthy guidance. Trustworthy guidance. You have angels and guides all over you, right? And if you can think of a number right now, I'm going to ask you just to think of one random number. Think of it now, have it in your head, and that is the number of angels that you have with you at all times right now. That number that he came up with, whatever it was. Could have been 2, could have been 5, could have been 20, whatever. That's your trustworthy guidance, right? It's always whispering in your ear. It's just learning how to do it. We're learning how to receive the messages that are coming in. And that's, again, something I would teach you in our Awakening Coaching series. And so the card itself, it says, you've received a wonderful idea as an answer to one of your prayers. This is an idea that is real and trustworthy. And that's the thing, too. A lot of the times when you get an idea in your head, you're like, oh, that's so unrealistic. Where do you think that came from? Where do you think that idea popped in from, right? It's there for a reason. And the things that seem the most unrealistic are the ones that are going to get you where you actually have been wanting to go, which is, it's not always rational, right? But that's the fun part. That's the whole experience that we're here for. It does say, it says, you can safely move forward with this idea and knowing that the angels are with you every step of the way. Ask for and be open to receiving the support from your angels for anything that you need related to this idea. So whatever ideas that are coming forward, whatever that you're working on, whatever project you're on, or if you're starting your own business, or if you have your own business or something like that, if you are getting these inklings, these ideas, these whispers in your ears, these things that are like, maybe I should try that, but then you have fear setting in that is like, no, you could never pull that off, right? Well, that's ego. Ego is just trying to keep you safe, but you can just let ego know, thank you, recognize it. Any fear, any lower vibration, it's all ego. Anything high vibration, that's all your guides. That's all your angels. And by the way, just so you know, your angels and guides would never force you to do anything. You have free will. Everything is up for you to choose. So that is the most important thing. So if you ever feel like you're being pushed or being forced to do something, that's ego. And just recognize it, right? That's all it is. That's just the difference. Okay, so the last one out of this deck was an opportunity to forgive. An opportunity to forgive. That's a big one. That's a big one. Especially a lot of things that we hold against ourselves, or those resentments that we've been hanging on to with people around us that has been kind of like fraying the line of communication and connection, right? Just knowing that forgiveness is the antidote. It really is. So the card itself, it says this situation brings you the opportunity to heal, grow, and release negative patterns. Hold the intention of seeing the other person's inner divine light and goodness. We all help you. So the angels will all help you to release unforgiving thoughts, feelings, energies, and lift you to a higher place of peace and compassion. Right? So that's, again, just tuning into your guidance and your support team on the other side. And it's not even on the other side. Like, they are here now. Like, I have one guide here and one guide here at all times with me, right? That's the thing. And I know their presence. I'm comfortable with that, right? And that's just tuning into it and getting to know that energy. And everything is energy, right? So that is the guidance that the cards had to come forth. Let me know if that resonates with you. Let me know if you connect with that in any way. Drop it in the comments there. I would love to know. And then what I want to ask is from our Sacred Geometry deck. I'm just going to ask our angels and our guides, what energies do we have to activate in our body, in our aura, in order to get the best of this week, right? Just kind of tuning. Woo! Ooh, this popped out. This is powerful. That's interesting. This is what we need to activate. Our solar plexus. Our power center. Your solar plexus. Okay, so solar plexus is right at the bottom of your rib cage, right? Right there. And this is your willpower, your wheelhouse. This one is potent. And I also find when I work with a lot of my clients that is the part of them that's really blocked as well. And it's all about opening that part of you. It's like a portal. Like when I go in and I practice Reiki, right? So in my sessions with my awakening coaching clients, I will go in and do a Reiki session to clear the chakras and any blockages. So I go in and I see it like a portal. Like I can just, and then the front of it sometimes is spinning one way and then the back of it spinning another way. And it's just basically going through, opening it up, pulling out everything that is in there and releasing it, right? And just like that, we worked on yours right now. In that space, we can go in and just pull it out, right? And it's allowing that energy to flow forward and come out and bring out everything that has been blocked from there. It's kind of like a bottleneck. Like I see it sometimes as like a log jam where the energy is flowing from like top to bottom or bottom to top. It kind of flows simultaneously, right? But then the energy is like slowing down at that one place. So it's just better of opening it up, right? So that's what the solar plexus is, what you're doing with it is just opening it up. So it says the frequency of the solar plexus is the flower of life. So it's the flower of life is in every creation. Like if you look at any flower, everything is beautifully symmetrical and the way it blooms even is absolutely perfect in every shape and form, right? So it's just that supports the foundations of everything, right? The foundations of life. So it says it supports your sense of self, personal power, your willpower, as well as your knowing of who you are and what your contribution is to the whole, right? So if you are feeling stuck and not confident and you're questioning everything and you're in this place like, I don't know if I can do this. I don't know if this is what I'm meant to do. I don't know where I'm going. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like if you're questioning everything, it could very well be that your solar plexus is just closed off or muddied up, right? And sometimes you just need to release that. And that's, again, what I do with my clients. It's really powerful stuff. So that is what you are being asked to do this week, is clear out your solar plexus. So I don't have my crystals here, but citrine is definitely a powerhouse crystal for your solar plexus. So citrine is a beautiful crystal. It's all about abundance and creativity, and it just brings in that sense of aliveness, right? That's all I can say. That's what it feels like to me, is a very alive, right? So activate those. You just basically take the crystals and you can just lay with it. Like what I used to do even was right before bed, I would lay with crystals on different chakras just to kind of open them up and let them flow, and then set the intention. Intention work is powerful stuff. So set the intention to clear out anything, any debris, any blockages that don't belong there and they're keeping you stuck. And then just lay there with your hands over it and just love it and sit in that place of just healing and loving vibrations. And that will be enough to clear it, which is amazing. Okay, so the last card that we're going to tap into is the animal card. Love the animal totem of the week. Last week was a monkey. It was beautiful because there was always so much play to have when you tap into the energy of a monkey, right? So I'm excited to see what comes forward this week, because this week is going to be, like I said, full of unexpected changes, unexpectedness. So here we go. Ooh, okay. So the elephant, that is beautiful. It says, open yourself up to true abundance. Okay, so I'm going to grab the book because I love the explanations in the book. Let's see what it says for elephant. Here we go. Okay, so the guidance of the elephant. The elephant card reminds you to keep your frequency high by having fun. So again, if you think about it, elephants are pretty playful, right? Like if you've ever seen them in Africa or in a herd, or if you watch one of these documentaries, right? All I can think about is this elephants with like the balls that are just tossing them back and forth, or how elephants are in the water and they're like spraying out and they're just having fun and they're enjoying life, right? Like this is the energy that you're going to tap into that's going to really help you accelerate the week that we're going through, right? So by having fun and playing and be joyful. So whether you are male or female, practice divine feminine qualities. So soft, nurturing, loving, right? That's more feminine. Because male is more like action-oriented, doing, making things happen, right? And you want to kind of step back from that sharp energy, and you want to step into the flow energy, and that soft place, that nurturing, the loving, joyful, right? So that's the energy that you want to tap into this week. That is important. Okay, so it says, practice divine feminine qualities with every area of your life to ensure that you have a strong and stable foundation for your spiritual practice, so for your spiritual life. Sit quietly, breathe into your third eye, tuning into the elephant kingdom, the Archangel Raphael. So Archangel Raphael is the healer, right? Archangel. So tapping into that energy, and the awesome emerald green. So if you see here, the elephant's third eye is emerald green, and that energy is coming forward. And even, oh, see the little baby elephant, he's spraying, like playful, joyful, having fun. That's so cute. So tapping into that energy and link up into the energy of Jupiter, the ascendant of Jomplay, and call in perfect health and cosmic abundance to breathe into your consciousness. This is a big card. Like, this is really great. So feel the energy permeate into your cells. So every part of you, just really feel that playful, joyful, that healing, loving place, right? Just imagine that filling each and every single one of your cells, lighting up. You can even imagine like light bulbs in each one of your cells and just lighting that up as you go through it. So feel the energy permeate and fill your heart with divine love. Send out a stream of light to help build the crystalline web of our light planet around us. So again, the whole entire planet is connected by crystalline grids, right? I don't know if you've ever seen pictures of the grid lines over the earth. They were weak for a very long time, but most recently we actually have a lot of people who are working on the grid lines and strengthening them for us, right? And setting up crystals in different parts of the world to strengthen these, which is really amazing work these people are doing. Amazing. So basically it's just tapping in. So we as a collective can tap into those ley lines, tap into that energy and share it with the planet so that when we benefit, the rest of the planet and everyone around us benefits too. So those are beautiful messages. Those are really big. So let me know, like I said, if you resonate with any of these messages or any of this that's coming through, let me know. I would love to hear from you. But that is it for me this week. I send you so much love and so much light. Thank you so much for being here, and I will see you again very, very soon. Mwah. Take care.